So it's becoming more and more apparent throughout the years that Lil Uzi Vert may not be as happy as a lot of fans probably think because of all of his success of his career or business deal, or even just happiness with like his role in society. And I think more recently, with more information, it's become much more clear as to why he's been wanting to retire for 5-6 years at this point. But just to reiterate for any new fans who aren't aware of Uzi wanting to retire, ever since around 2019 in the pre-Eternal Atake era, there was obviously a huge delay between Love Is Rage 2 and then Eternal Atake, although this time frame has become more standard for his release schedule, as with many other artists who were around the same level as him. And then he posts on his Instagram story randomly one day stating, "I want to take the time out to say I thank each and every one of my supporters, but I'm done with music. I deleted everything. I want to be normal. I want to wake up in 2013. Thank you, love you, you are free." And this was around the Free Uzi era, where he dropped music without his label being involved whatsoever. And so most people thought it had to do with being in like a slave contract of sorts, and that there was information that came out that EXO Tour Life, out of the $4.5 million in revenue that it created for his label in 2017 when it released, he only got like 900,000, which is around 20% for the artist portion. Pretty standard. And you already know my opinions about large artists who get signed earlier in their career. Like, you would not necessarily be as big or the person you are today without the label taking the risk and pumping money into you as an investment, because there was no guarantee at that point in time when they first signed you that you were gonna make back all that money. But moving on, Uzi continues to air out his label issues, directing most of his tweets at DJ Drama. I guess Don Cannon was more on the music side because he produces a lot for Uzi too, tweeting multiple threads along the same lines as, "And if y'all do sign to a major, don't sign to a rapper or a DJ. It's just easier when the time comes for that fake shit." Obviously unhappy with his splits in the deal, or maybe not having full creative control of what songs he can drop, and that's why he ended up releasing on his own YouTube channel during the Free Uzi era. However, within a year, he signed to Roc Nation Management, and on his behalf, with the power of Jay-Z and other corporate leaders, they were able to renegotiate a deal, especially given that at this point in his career, yes, the label made a risky investment into his career. However, given how successful he was hypothetically deserving of more points in his music. But with that being said, Uzi later on publicly apologized to anybody that he affected, saying that he was just crazy at the time because of potentially withdrawals from drugs or just depression of some sorts. But this new deal that he renegotiated with Generation Now alongside Roc Nation, he still from time to time hints that he will be retiring soon. And so now that he believes he's fairly sharing in the revenue for the music that he creates, I believe that money wasn't even the issue in the first place. Because after releasing Eternal Atake, after the however long wait it was, in addition to the deluxe album, aka Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World 2, and then Pluto Baby Pluto collab say with Future, he still tweeted, "I'm dropping 2 more albums, then I'm out." Now since then, technically he has dropped 2 more projects, Red and White EP, as well as Pink Tape as of recent. And so maybe that statement was just a spur in the moment of what he was feeling at the time. But once again, less than 1 month after he released Pink Tape, he then publicly announces during a performance that he might retire again this year.
I might retire this year. I might retire this year, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of cool niggas out, but I might retire, but I done made too much money, I swear to God.
And related to my statements earlier, Uzi quite frankly said that he made too much money, that he doesn't really need to make music, or at least do it through a label anymore. Now he's currently working on a couple more projects, Barter 16 and Love Is Rage 3. So after that, maybe he will actually end up retiring, since he's finishing up on a lot of the flagship series that he has. And then lastly, in relation to Lil Uzi Vert potentially retiring soon, a series of screenshots surfaced on Instagram and Reddit, including a conversation with Uzi in Instagram DMs, wherein once again he hints at his retirement after a fan was arguing with him saying that they miss the old him, and then he responds, "It's okay, you will miss me soon." And so with all this being said, I don't even know if Uzi can retire, just because when rappers make statements like this, they always end up coming back, with like Jay-Z even dropping albums in his 40s. I mean, it's easy money considering you already have have all of the clout and supporters, so why not get a couple 100,000 or millions in this case with Uzi from the label just to release some music that the fans are begging for anyway. But at the same time, I completely understand why Uzi would want to retire, and it kind of relates to the creative control issue that he once had back in 2019 with Generation Now. In that, yes, he might have a new management contract that can negotiate on his behalf to literally release any type of music that he wants. However, at this point, I don't even think it's a label issue, in that he lacks the creative control with his fans. Because if you've been an Uzi fan, you know how much pressure is on his back, even beefing with various fan pages, including the DMs that we just shared, and that practically the fan base will never be satisfied with any type of music that he releases. And that could partially be due to just how big the fan base is. So of course there's going to be different types of fans for the various types of music that he makes, but also because he made such great unique music back in the day that now when it's a little bit different, and it may not exactly be the reason that these people became fans of him in the first place, pretty much all of social media scrutinizing every single move he makes that surfaces online, not to mention the pressure of making music now that was as good or even better than what he already made, especially with so many different conflicting opinions on the music that you're creating now, which makes you wonder, is the fame even worth it at that point? Because yes, you may be rich, but are you happy? And of course, with this life that he has, he's able to do literally anything that he wants in this world. He has all the money and resources and support to fly around in private jets, at luxurious hotels, etc. But even with all that, he can't even necessarily enjoy these things, because as soon as he walks outside, people are going to be wanting to take pictures and dox his whole location, might even be dangerous. And the fact that maybe he doesn't want to be who he once was because it could be bad memories, or he's just a grown man now. All the while having a multi-million-dollar catalog that's already bringing him more than enough money per year just by sitting on his ass and doing nothing. Because sometimes I do feel like when rappers continue to make music, if it's lesser quality than their previous, what's the point when you already have such successful songs? In a way, it's better to fall off gracefully than to give the heavily toxic hip-hop community ammo to hate on the ending of your career. So it brings me back to his original statements when he first teased retirement. I'm done with music. I deleted everything. I want to be normal. I want to wake up in 2013. So all in all, I do think that Uzi continuously wants to retire from the music game. I don't necessarily think it has to do with the music. He probably enjoys the creative process behind it, but it probably is a living hell to deal with all of the fans, especially at this point when they're literally hating on his music, claiming that they're supporters. So perhaps in the next couple of years, after Love is Rage 3 and Barter 16, not in that order, Uzi might finally be free. But with all that being said, it's been your boy Bobbalam signing off, also retiring from YouTube though, so I can finally pursue my ultimate dream of becoming a professional RuneScape player. But let me know in the comments, do you think Uzi will actually retire, or will he just be another one of these rappers that hints at it every couple of years when they get in their feelings? And of course, make sure to like and subscribe to the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, clap people. Nice scene.